Alright, so this is my 7th deck. I'm going to show you guys. This is my equipment deck, my white weenie equipment deck. White weenie is the nickname given to a deck which has a lot of efficient white creatures in it, small white creatures. This one uses equipment a lot, which is why I call it that. So first I have a piece of equipment, Captain's Claws. This is the newest one. Kind of experimenting with this one. I used to have Shuko in here. But I'm going to try Captain's Claws instead. This one gives differences. This one costs 2 mana, so this one is a slight mana investment, but yeah. Anyways, equip creature gets +1/+0. Whenever it attacks, put a 1/1 creature token into the battlefield tapped and attacking. Kind of similar to what is it, Brimaz or Hero Bladehold, but this is on equipment instead. I don't think anything in this deck costs more than 2 mana. Yeah, everything in this deck costs 1 or 2 mana. There's nothing that costs more than 2 mana, which is pretty amazing for this deck. That tells you how aggro this deck is, how fast it is. Basically, it plays a bunch of equipment and equip cards, and yeah, I don't think it has anything that costs more than 2 mana, which is really fast. Okay, so Captain's Claws, 2 mana. Whenever attacks, gets a 1/1 creature token, tapped and attacking. They got Auriok Edgewright, 2 mana, 2/2. Metalcraft means if I have 3 or more artifacts, so this one has double strike as long as I control 3 or more artifacts, and I have some artifact lands in here as well, which helps up the count. So yeah, 2 mana for 2/2 double strike would be really nice. It's really efficient. 1 mana for 1/1 as long as the equip gets +1/+1, it's flying. So yes, as soon as I equip it, it becomes a 2/2 flying, plus whatever bonuses the equipment gives. But the fact that it has evasion makes it really nice, and yeah, really a threat to the opponent's life total. It makes it harder to harder to block and stuff. So it has evasion. It's only 1 mana, right? It becomes at least a 2/2 flying. With that, Pure Steel Paladin, 2 mana for 2/2. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield, I draw a card. That definitely helps with this deck because this deck is full of cheap creatures and cheap spells. So you definitely want to keep drawing, or else it runs out of gas. You got to keep drawing. And then when I have 3 or more artifacts, equipment have equip 0. That's really useful. That means I can shift my equipment around different creatures. I can put all the equipment on one creature. I can distribute them. So if they have equip 0, that's awesome. So this card is pretty fundamental to this deck. Keep drawing cards, and then I shift my equipment around for free, which is really nice. Ancient Den is an artifact land. Artifact lands are probably some of the most broken cards in Magic. They have no drawback, basically, almost. The only drawback is being non-basic, but yeah, I mean, basically it doesn't come into play tapped, nothing. It's just a plains that also counts as an artifact. So yeah, it's really cheap. Core Duelist is 1 mana for 1/1 as long as it's equipped as double strike. Pretty simple. You equip it, double strike deals double damage. So really efficient with equipment, as you can imagine. Bone Splitter is this equipment, 1 mana, equip 1. Equip creature +2/+0. Very cheap equipment. You can imagine putting on like this guy. He becomes a 3/1 double strike, deals 6 damage. That's 6 damage per turn with an initial mana investment of just 2. That's amazing. This one would become a 4/2. 4/2. Yeah, this would become a 4/2 flying, right? And this will have double strike here. Yeah, so like does a lot of damage. Another Core Duelist. Swords to Plowshares I have in here as well. Very efficient, cheap removal. Remove exiles any creature for 1 mana. I don't really care about the life gain, but it exiles any problematic creature for 1 mana. Then got Knight of Metagrain, 2 mana for 2/2 first strike lifelink. Generally just a very good efficient card. Nothing to do with equipment, actually. It's just a really efficient card here. 2 mana, 2/2 lifelink, first strike. Auriok Steel Shaper. Okay, 2 mana for 1/1. Equip costs 1 less. And that pretty much makes it free for a lot of my equipment, like the Bone Splitter, for example. That makes it free. Captain's Claws becomes free. Yeah, a lot of my equipment costs exactly 1 to equip. So as long as it's equipped, soldiers and knights I control get +1/+1. So as you can see, a lot of it's a knight, soldier, soldier, knight, soldier, soldier. So basically a lot of the cards I have in here in this deck, I think almost all of them are just soldiers or knights. So as soon as you equip this guy, it pumps up all my other guys, and then a lot of them have double strike and stuff, which makes them, you know, incredibly powerful for their mana cost. Yes, so Oryak Steel Shapers are really nice in this deck. Let's see what else I have. Auto Recruit, 1 mana, 1/1, becomes a 3/3 when I have 3 or more artifacts, or 3 or more equipment, you know. So, yeah, 1 mana for 3/3 is awesome. And it's also Soldier, of course. What else do we have? Oh, Cranial Plating. So this is a equip 1 as well. Equip creature with +1/+0 for each artifact you control. So this one gets boosted by all the artifact lands and other equipment I have. And yeah, what can I say? It's a really dangerous card, especially on something with double strike. It kills an opponent really, really fast. And you have Cranial Plating on it. Basilisk Collar, equip 2. This is the only equipment I have that's more than that's a equip cost of more than 1. So I'm thinking about, should I keep this one in or not? Just because it has equip of 2, which is a little bit more than I wanted. But equip creature has Death Touch and Lifelink. I guess if I have Pure Steel Paladin, it doesn't matter because it's equip 0. But yeah, Death Touch or Lifelink, really nice to have. So if I have like a lot of power boost and stuff like Cranial Plating, then I gain a lot of life. So Basilisk Collar, do that. That's why I think I only have 2 in there, 2 Basilisk Collars. I don't have many of it. I think the rest of them I already go over, yeah. This deck, yeah, it's only 60 cards, but yeah. It's, as you can see, it's just full of really cheap creatures that have something to do with metalcraft or being equipped. And they just do a ton of damage very fast because nothing in this deck costs more than 2 mana. Everything costs 1 or 2 mana, so yeah. That's it. That's my White Weenie equipment deck full of soldiers and knights with equipment. Kills the opponent very fast as long as they don't deal with the board. As long as they don't have a board clear, I guess I would probably win within the first few turns of the game. That's it.